Hi there YouTube, Sad Womble here. This is a little bit of a different video in that it's not quite in the same style, but it relates to religious beliefs and how they are sacrosanct by everyone except when they're not. And obviously because it's me, it's because when they relate to women. Now this is a little bit of an emotive subject. Female genital mutilation. Now it's been agreed for a while that female genital mutilation, FGM for shortened version for me, is horrible, wrong, painful, and basically the child having it performed on them is unable to do anything about it. Therefore it is wrong, because I think you should have say in things that happen to you. And as a man, I agree with that. So I am totally against FGM. However, so that governments have agreed with that. You know, it's been human rights issues. It's been huge news, almost worldwide. You know, you've got the UN involved, and they want to say, oh yes, you know, we're going to change all these different countries, and it's wrong. We're going to do sanctions. We're going to do everything, and it's just the worst thing ever. And it is. It's not nice at all. However, and I presume, and a little bit of an insight into me, all the stuff I talk about here is, so it's my understanding. I won't say I don't do a lot of research, because that's not true, but I don't specifically look things up. It's all my sort of, I've looked things up in the world and I know stuff, so I can't claim to have done any specific research on stuff. It's just sort of my understanding from the information that's sort of floating around in the world. But anyway, my understanding is that, you know, it's considered a heinous crime to do this to a woman, and it is. But I can only assume, sort of that brief digression, I can only assume that it is done for religious reasons. Now, if I'm wrong, please comment below and set me right, and that's fine. But I can only assume that's why it happens to girls. Now, and it's totally wrong, etc., etc., etc. Huge amounts of upset and sadness and disagreement, and governments and everyone agrees this is totally wrong. Okay, so they're basically turning round and saying, this religious belief is completely unacceptable to all right-thinking people, so we're not going to do it anymore. We're going to outlaw it. It's completely wrong. Okay, I have no problem with that. What about male genital mutilation? That happens. That happens a heck of a lot. It's always happened. Again, it's a religious belief. And nothing's being done about that. Nothing at all. I don't hear the outcry saying we're going to ditch male circumcision. Because to do that would be to violate the Jewish belief, because that's what they do to their chaps. I'm not making any phases whether it's you know, the reasons for why Jews do that. I have no knowledge. I'm not Jewish, not circumcised, just in case you wondered. A little bit of an insight, but it's just the whole. It's gender bias. It's completely and utterly, apparently, morally repugnant and wrong to mutilate a woman's genitals, but it's not totally and utterly and morally wrong to mutilate a man's genitals. Now, either it is or it isn't. Personally, I think it is. I think it's awful and horrible. But, you know, it's a religious belief, and we are taught in the 21st century you have to tolerate people's religious beliefs. We may not always agree with them. You know, there's all sorts of things that I dare say the other religions look at the Christian world and they think that's ridiculous. Just as, you know, I may or may not look at, you know, Judaism or Islam or any of the others and look at them and go, that's ridiculous. We all have our own beliefs. And that's just how the world works, and that's just it. So we're taught, and there are rules and regulations in place against, you know, racism and things about religious tolerance, that you have to allow them to do stuff. Until suddenly something hits the headlines where they suddenly go, oh, you know, this is completely to do with religion and stuff, but we're still going to outlaw it. And, oh, wouldn't you know it, it's about women. Apparently, you can do whatever you want to blokes for religious purposes. You can't do whatever you want to women for religious purposes. Strange, that. Now, like I say, it's either right for both or it's wrong for both. At the moment, it's done to both. So if you're going to outlaw it, I think it should be outlawed for both. And I'm not going to carry on with this any longer because I've kind of said my piece. It's just irritating. I mean, it's been bubbling under for a while. It's been in the news for a while, as I'm sure everyone's aware. I'm sure it's a worldwide issue. It's certainly an issue in the UK. I'm assuming it's an issue worldwide, judging by the fact that the UN's been involved, and they do like to, by definition, stick their oar in all over the world. But it's been specifically mentioned in the UK today in the newspapers, so I just suddenly thought, yeah, you know what? I just wanted to get that out there. And I say, please comment below, make a comment. Am I missing something desperate? Or have I hit the nail on the head? Yeah. Sad womble.